Team Italy. Voici la présentation de visiteurs pour ce match. Here's the visiting team for this game. TC Colorado. Couple première, troisième but numéro 13. Batting first, playing third base, number 13, Danica Coffey. Quatrième, joueur au premier but numéro 20, batting fourth, playing first base, number 20, Hannah Gamble. Au cinquième rang, receveur numéro 14, batting fifth, catcher number 14, Reese Atwood. Avant sixième, botteur de droite, numéro 3, batting sixth, right fielder number 3, Kaylee Wickoff. Avant septième, joueur au deuxième but numéro 0, batting seventh, playing second base, number 00, Jackie Lees. Au huitième, botteur de centre numéro 21, batting 8, center fielder number 21, Mackenzie Wilson. Au neuvième rang, botteur de gauche numéro 44, batting 9, left fielder number 44, Talon Edwards. En position flex, lanceur numéro 8, in the flex position, pitcher number 8, Maria Lopez. Les substituts, the alternates, numéro 19, number 19, Cassidy Curd. Numéro 23, number 23, Garland Pickens. Numéro 7, number 7, Courtney Coppersmith. Numéro 11, number 11, Kirsten Deal. Numéro 22, number 22, Nikki McGaffin. Numéro 4, number 4, Jessica Mullins. Numéro 2, number 2, Sarah Gordon. Numéro 44, number 44, Haley Morrow. Numéro 1, number 1, Jalea Lassiter. Numéro 47, number 47. Team TC Colorado. Voici maintenant l'équipe locale pour ce match. Here's the home team for this game. Team Italy. En première, receveur numéro 19. Batting first, catcher number 19, Marta Gasparotto. Au deuxième rang, jouant deuxième but numéro 3, batting second, playing second base, number 3, Alessandra Rotondo. En troisième, botteur de droite numéro 20, batting third, right fielder number 20, Erika Piancastelli. Au quatrième rang, joueuse désignée numéro 32, batting fourth, designated player number 32, Mackenzie Barbara. En cinquième, Narico numéro 8, batting fifth, shortstop number 8, Andrea Filler. Au sixième rang, jouant troisième but numéro 14, batting sixth, playing third base, number 14, Julia Longhi. En septième, jouant premier but numéro 15, batting seventh, playing first base, number 15, Elisa Cecchetti. En huitième, botteur de centre, numéro 27, batting 8, center fielder number 27, Julia Koutsoyanopoulos. En neuvième, botteur de gauche, numéro 4, batting 9, left fielder number 4, Fabrizia Marone. Et en position flex, lanceur numéro 16, in the flex position, pitching number 16, Alice Nicolini. Les substituts, the alternates, numéro 7, number 7, Ilaria Cacciamani. Numéro 10, number 10, Anita Bartoli. Numéro 24, number 24, Cristina Tognolo. Numéro 5, number 5, Alexia Lacatena. Numéro 21, number 21, Laura Vigna. Numéro 23, number 23, Melanie Sheldon. Les arbitres pour ce match, the umpires for this game. Au mound at home plate, Nicolas Eugia. Au premier but, at first base, Annie Michaud. Au deuxième but, at second base, James English. Au troisième but, at third base, Clinton Harvey. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez maintenant vous lever, si vous en êtes capable, retirer chapeaux et casquettes pour l'interprétation des hymnes nationaux des États-Unis d'Amérique et de l'Italie. Ladies and gentlemen, please now rise if you're able to. Remove your hats and caps for the national anthems of the United States of America and Italy. Bonsoir aux équipes et bon match. Best of luck to both teams. Have a great game.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to day number 4 as it continues here at Softball City. And we begin, at least for myself, Peter Lubardius and Amanda Fema, former Italian national team member and shortstop, we begin our coverage today with a very intriguing matchup between Team Italy, who won their first game last year, or yesterday, of this event, as they downed Israel and are 1-2 against one of the most talented and 3-0 Triple Crown Colorado. Triple Crown Colorado that'll bat first, Amanda, knocked off Canada 8-0 in a real statement game yesterday.
I wouldn't be surprised if TC Colorado put some runs early on the board here.
They will start with a Lice Nicolini, and we apologize. I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll come back in just a sec. We are having some big-time audio problems. Our apologies. Back in just a second. Check, check, check. Welcome back. We will try our best to fight through. And she is Richwood, Texas, Danica Coffey. She had a stellar season at LSU.
She's doing pretty well in the tournament too, Peter. Batting .429. A great leadoff hitter for this TC team. She gets on and they produce her in.
And she is a threat to slap, bunt. We saw her punch a double over the head of Erica Polidori, the Canadian left fielder, yesterday. 9 hits. She is 9 for 11. She's the tournament leader in average, but grounds out to Alessandra Rotondo. And now have an opportunity to mention that the starting pitcher for Team Italy today is veteran Alice Nicolini, who has pitched in 5 innings here. She has given up 3 runs on just 2 hits, walked 2, and struck out 3 in facing They're All Dangerous. Erin Koffel, the shortstop. Koffel, so far in the tournament, is 6 for 14 and leads, or at least is second on the team with 6 runs batted in. And Koffel from Bremen, Indiana, who just completed her junior season at the University of Kentucky. And this is hit high and deep. Katsoyanopoulos will run out of room. And Erin Koffel's terrific tournament continues. And Triple Crown Colorado, a program headed and coached by David King, off to a 1-0 first inning lead.
Strong start by TC, scoring at just the second batter. We've seen that a couple times with TC scoring early in the game, leading to successful winning games later on.
Koffel, an impressive player. She will participate for the United States, a national team, at the Japan-USA series coming up in August. In fact, a number of members of this Triple Crown Colorado team will do just that. The United States national team is not here right now at the Canada Cup. They were a year ago and won the event, but lost twice to that collection from Triple Crown Colorado, which is a college all-star team and a high-end college all-star team, including this batter, who was the designated player, Rylan Hedgecock. And Hedgecock takes down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Koffel home run has given Triple Crown Colorado a 1-0 lead. It's her second home run of this Canada Cup and her now tied for the team lead 7th run batted in. Again, it's Rotondo. Nice hands. And 2 away.
And that's a great job by pitcher Alice Nicolini getting that out after a big hit from TC Colorado. And playing with Alice for 4 or 5 years, that's something that you knew was going to happen. She can get a hit ripped off her, but she's going to come back and get an out, and that's exactly what she did. So good job coming back from Alice Nicolini.
And you have described her, Amanda, as change-up, change-up, change-up. And she throws them exceptionally well. And she has a tough hitter to deal with here. Another player who will participate in that upcoming Japan-USA series in August. She's playing at first base. Last year was at the Canada Cup as well with Triple Crown. And part of a team that beat the United States national team not once, but twice, before losing in the final. And Hannah is 4 for 9 so far in the event. Triple Crown Colorado has scored 35 runs in their 3 outings. And while their schedule through 3 games hasn't been Japan, Italy, Canada, it did include an 8-0 5-inning victory over Canada. And it certainly opened my eyes. I knew this was going to be a great team, Amanda, coming in terms of having some idea of the personnel, the talent that was here, the types of teams that David King always brings to this tournament. But I think it's potentially even on par with that great team last year.
Yeah, Peter, they have a great team. Beating Canada 8-0 gives you an extreme amount of confidence. And then facing Team Italy here again, I'm hoping to see Team Italy put up a bit of a fight, but TC does have an extremely talented roster with those 7 pitchers and the power that they have in the box. They have potential to be in the championship game here.
And Gamel delivers hit number 5 as she sends that into left. The second hit of this opening inning off of Alice Nicolini.
Catcher number 14, Reese Atwood.
Reese Atwood, now like Koffel, also has 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in. She is a perfect 6 for 6 in the tournament.
That's incredible to think about, too, when you're facing these teams. Maybe at a moment not getting their star pitcher, but Peter, like you and I have talked about off the air, was how hitters need to adjust to speed and then slower spinning pitching. And Atwood has done a great job so far. And I would assume she's going to continue to do just as well throughout the rest of the tournament.
She is the starting catcher today for Triple Crown Colorado. She is from Sandia, Texas, and just completed her first year at Texas, an excellent program in Austin, where she hit .291 with 43 runs batted in and homered 11 times. This is a stacked American College All-Star team. And Atwood draws the walk on 4 pitches from Nicolini. And what intrigued me the most about today with this matchup is I know the Triple Crown Colorado would score some runs. They will.
It seems like that's going to be a for sure thing with this TC Colorado team, and that's really remarkable to say that a team is almost for sure going to score runs.
To me, there is a couple of pitching staffs. It didn't work out for Canada yesterday, but the best pitching here belongs to the reigning Olympic gold medal champions, and that is Japan. And Triple Crown Colorado will play Japan tonight at 8:30. And if you love high-level international softball, I would suggest maybe you tune in.
That'll be the game of the week so far. That's right. And see if I can correct myself and see if TC can get a run in that game. It'll be great to watch.
It'll be interesting if they face either Yukiko Ueno, the 41-year-old, one of the all-time greats, or Mio Gato, the 22-year-old young sensation, who just might be following in Ueno's footsteps as the next one. And their other 2 pitchers are very good too. So that showdown, can't wait for it. Canada, by the way, will look to improve their record to 5-1. They'll take on Israel this evening at 6 in their general spot on the schedule. Always play in that prime time game. Here at Softball City is a big turn on it by the right fielder, Kaylee Wickoff. And Wickoff in the tournament, she's off to a great start. Who isn't for this team? Although for Wickoff, not quite to the extent of others. She's 2 for 10. Does have 2 runs batted in and has scored 3 runs. So 2 on, 2 out, and this will make its way into the stands. Off the bat of Wickoff. Kaylee is 19. She'll turn 20 on the 6th of November. She is from Katy, Texas, and plays at Texas Tech University for the Red Raiders, where she hit .393 this past season. Katsoyanopoulos with the glasses on makes the catch. So the Koffel home run has Triple Crown Colorado in front 1-0 with Italy coming to bat here at Softball City. Mariah Lopez gets the ball. And a little shove from Hannah Gamble, a playful one, as she gets sets to work for Triple Crown Colorado. And Aaron Koffel's second home run of the tournament has given 3-0 Triple Crown Colorado a 1-0 lead on a team that participated in the most recent Olympics. And their catcher today, Marta Gasparotto, flies out deep to right on the first pitch from Peoria, Arizona's Maria Lopez. Lopez, so far in the tournament, has worked 3 1/3 inning, given up 1 run, 1 hit, walked 3, and struck out 3. She's coming off a banner year, was a huge reason that Utah returned to the College World Series in Oklahoma City, where she went 23-7. Struck out 206. Pitched 197 2/3 innings. And Maria Lopez finds the outside corner. Facing second base player, the speedy Alessandra Rotundo.
And Lopez is doing a good job starting off, showing us where the umpire's strike zone is going to be, and getting ahead here with 2 strikes.
Rotundo off to a very nice beginning. She's 4 for 9 so far in the event for Team Italy.
She's definitely a threat up to bat, too. She can do it all. And once she gets on, she's got that speed like you've talked about. That can be killer. Once you have someone hitting behind you like Erica Piancastelli, you definitely don't want Rotundo on with the wheels that she's got.
Alessandra Rotundo, 3 for 11 in last year's European Championship. On the ground, handled well. And a fine defensive play over at second for Jackie Lease. And there are 2 away in the bottom of the first. And here's Italy's most dangerous hitter. She hasn't exactly found her mark yet. Erica Piancastelli, 2 for 10. Did have 1 mammoth home run. And has hit a lot of balls that off the bat look like they had a chance. And I suspect that she's about to get into a real hitting groove.
I think you're going to be right, Peter. Erica's not the type of player to go too long without home runs and hits. And again, Italy's only had those 1 game a day days. So we're going to see Erica get in her groove here pretty soon, and does that with a single.
Again on cue, Piancastelli has a 2-out base hit, her 3rd hit of the tournament. Spent a lot of time the last year starring for Athletes Unlimited. An interesting new format and a great opportunity for some of this game's top players. Designated player Mackenzie Barbara thought that was outside. She hit the most mammoth home run of the tournament against Canada here a couple of days ago, clearing the right field tent in the air, going up, and had a healthy whack at the Maria Lopez pitch. She had a marvelous year at San Diego State University, playing for the Aztecs. Did Mackenzie Barbara. And I started to talk about the intriguing thing for me about this matchup, Amanda. And it has the potential to be a high-scoring affair. Italy, to me, doesn't have the staff pitching-wise, but this team can hit. It hasn't exactly materialized yet, but you know it's there.
It's there, and I've already seen a little improvement today. Team Italy has always struggled with being aggressive, and you see Gasparotto coming out, swinging at the first pitch, being aggressive. You see Rotondo hitting hard, Erica on base, and a good opportunity here with Barbara. I do agree that there's going to be a lot of runs scored in this game collectively, and I'd love to see Barbara produce a base hit here and keep this little rally going.
Hits it hard, but right at the left fielder, Talon Edwards, who ends the inning. So the one hit by Pian Castelli. Triple Crown Colorado in this very interesting round-robin game continues next from Ball City. Jackie Lees to lead things off for Triple Crown Colorado. Aaron Koffels' second home run of the tournament has provided the 3-0 team a collection of college all-stars with the game's first run. Jackie Lees, 7 for 10. She came into the Canadian game yesterday a perfect 6 for 6. So did have one hit in 4 official appearances. Playing at second, she is from Newburgh, Indiana, and just batted .360 this past season at Southern Illinois University. I love the team name. They're the Salukis of Southern Illinois University. Her father runs a baseball and softball school, and also was a former major leaguer. So this young woman comes by it quite honestly with lots of potential great coaching on her way to get here. So Dad was a AAA player with Toronto and Atlanta. Her grandfather played for 4 different teams in the majors. Is Alessandra Rotondo with one of the best plays in the infield defensively that we have seen.
That was an incredible catch. It's a rocket off the bat. We had a great vantage point of that, and that's a great catch. Knew she could grab it. Backhands are hard, and that's going to pump her up and get her team going. Great job, Ale.
Sensational catch by Alessandra Rotondo. Marvelous to rob Jackie Lees from her 8th hit of this event. Center fielder Mackenzie Wilson. And 2 out, just like that, for Italy. And that's another one of those plays of the day. You talked about the da-na-na, da-na-na coming from the United States, and we know where that theme originates. We won't give them a lot of credit. They're not paying the bills.
No, we've seen great defense all around from a whole bunch of teams. Again, no surprise Ale can make that play. She's a tremendous athlete, back on the national team, well-deserved. And, again, I think that a play like that gives your your pitcher confidence that she has a team behind her that can produce outs. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Italy comes in and gets the bats going after a good catch like that. Nicolini, getting a pop out for the second out.
Remember, the woman working with me played on this team up until this year. Amanda Fama, been so kind, and we've had a great time working together this week on these broadcasts. And she was a longtime shortstop with this group.
Watch this.
Katsoyanopoulos. Watch this is right. Italy with sparkling defense keeps Triple Crown Colorado off the board in the second. But the College All-Star group from the United States lead it 1-0.
Second inning, the score remains 1-0 for TC Colorado.
A nice crowd starting to form. Good matchup in the 1 o'clock time slot today. Italy, an Olympic participant in 2021. And only 6 teams did participate. Taking on Triple Crown Colorado with part of what their head coach calls lefty soup. A lot of left-handers on this pitching staff, including Maria Lopez, star at the University of Utah, and has surrendered just the 1 hit to Erica Piancastelli. This is Andrea Filler, a veteran, 30 years of age, was having a spectacular run in preparation with Athletes Unlimited this year in a couple of events. Had hits in 9 of the 11 games and had a quality rip at that Lopez offering. Andrea is 30 years of age, 3 for 8 in the tournament. She has homered, and as a result has 1 run batted in. Italy 1-2 in the tournament. And this is their 4th game, and now with this contest versus Triple Crown Colorado, they have all, if you will, the elite of the elite out of the way when this game is over. And the high rise is a gem. Striking out Filler from Maria Lopez's first strikeout of this game.
Yeah, that's a great pitch, Filler, chasing that upstairs rise ball, and that's why that pitch is so effective. You're able to strike out veteran players like Filler.
Another veteran, the captain of Team Italy, is Giulia Longhi. And behind on that swing, Giulia is 3 for 8. All her hits have been singles. A very athletic player over at third. Great arm. and you have mentioned a couple of times as her former teammate and somebody who literally worked side by side on the diamond with her, of how fearless she is over at the hot corner.
It's really incredible, and it scares me sometimes where I have to yell at her, hey, I think you should scoot back. But like you said, working next to her, you learn each other's every move and her range, and it's incredible as a third baseman, and her reaction times were incredible, especially in Tokyo. And not only that, she has the power to put a ball over the fence, and a great person, like we've talked about, to be a captain and a leader of this Italy team.
The bouncing changeup from Lopez. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Giulia Longhi. And Italy in preparation to host a World Cup stage qualifier. I believe the first game is played on July 22nd, but in a couple of weeks. And less than that now, because this week is getting away. We're already at Thursday in this 7-day event. So they will be heading right to that site, or at least for some training before they gather. And would they gather right after this there, or what would your expectation be from the past in terms of what Italy will do between really next Monday, the upcoming one, and then the following Monday when that tournament gets rolling?
Most likely they'll stay together. They'll fly back, maybe have a day or two if they're lucky. But the coach tends to keep everyone together and keep them in a good frame of mind. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just stick together and do a little bit of easy training between now and then.
And a strikeout on a great change. And I can see that Maria Lopez is getting herself into a groove. She is an excellent pitcher.
She is, and that was a great call, whether it was from coach or the catcher, to catch Giulia off guard with the power she has and throw that changeup and catch her looking. That was a great job.
Reese Atwood is her battery mate today. This is well hit, but Mackenzie Wilson takes 2 steps to her right and makes the play. 3 up, 3 down for Italy, and it's 1-0 Triple Crown Colorado. We've got a good one going on day 4 of the Canada Cup. Alice Nicolini set to work her 3rd consecutive inning, and so far has done well against this high-powered offense. The one blemish was Aaron Koffel's solo home run that has given Triple Crown Colorado a 1-0 advantage as they're back to the top of the order, and Danica Coffey. Coffey grounded out to Alessandra Rotondo, who made one whale of a play in the last inning over at second. Coffey having a marvelous tournament. She's 9 for 12. And she can fly.
Yeah, she's a dangerous threat with the bat and on the bases.
Got a great jump out of the box and beats out the bunt. hit number 10. She and Canada's Janet Leung both now have 10 hits in the competition.
And that's a great idea for her to bunt. Italy, speaking from personal experience, is a good bunt fielding team. Nicolini can field her position at the plate. Just that speed from Coffey is killer.
Some changes today defensively. Filler has played a lot of first base. Andrea is over at shortstop. Gasparotto has played the majority of time at shortstop. Pardon me. The echo in my ear is a little tough to get through, so I apologize. And she's behind the plate. And Elisa Cicchetti, who has spent the majority of time as this team's catcher, is over at first today. Do you have an inkling, Amanda, as why that might have occurred for Italy today?
Well, starting off that first game, Melanie Sheldon at shortstop getting hurt is a huge loss. And so they're trying to find positions. Marta is her first position is a catcher. Eliza has played several times at first base, and Filler being a former shortstop in college, it's no surprise. And I've spoke briefly about how important it is at this international level to be able to play multiple positions for exactly this reason. And Team Italy has experienced that time and time again with, we see Erica Piancastelli, an amazing catcher, out in right field. And that happened actually due to injury a couple years ago. They had to put her out there. So these players that we see in this change, it's their secondary position, and that's important to have when you can only have a roster of 15.
Erin Koffel hit .440 this past season at Kentucky with 19 home runs and 55 runs batted in, and she is homered already today. They had the hit and run on with Coffey on the second last pitch, and the count runs full on Erin Koffel from Indiana, Bremen, Indiana. Hits it hard, but right at Piancastelli, and that's a tough sun field right now over on the right side of the diamond. You can see the glare off the outfielder's glasses, whether it's in center or in right. And Rylan Hedgecock, who grounded out to Rotondo at second, her first time up. And the hit and run on again.
I like that call. I think it's a great idea, especially when your team's been hitting well. When you're up to bat, it makes you focus on putting the ball in play. And especially when your team has been producing hits into the outfield and you have the speed of Coffey at first. That's a great call by Coach over there.
Rylan Hedgecock, a star at the University of Arkansas, another quality program. Just finished her redshirt junior season. COVID is, and for good reason, added a little extra time, potentially for collegians. She hit .335 there for the Razorbacks. A great valiant try by Cicchetti, and just out of her reach in foul territory. Italy has already made 2 sparkling defensive plays. Hedgecock was a first-team All-South All-Star. She is from Valdosta. Change. Coffey on the run. And the throw I thought was pretty good. Gets away, and she's going to score. Danica Coffey comes all the way around. And it's 2-0 Triple Crown Colorado.
Yeah, Marta has a good arm. You can see the ball tails a little bit. And that's a tough play with a runner coming in, sliding in. And Filler, I think, being a little rusty at shortstop again, used to playing on the other side. Unfortunately, that ball gets away from them and scores a run.
Well, this ball doesn't get away from Andrea Filler. making her first start, as Amanda alluded to, over at short. Some deficient, or at least some defensive changes. And there are two away as Hedgecock grounds out. And David King looks like he's on his way over to have a chat with the umpire at first base as Hannah Gamble, who has a single already today, steps in.
I wonder if this could be about pitching. I'm not sure why he would be going to the first base umpire. Oh.
Well, the out call over there was confirmed. It seemed to be pretty routine, at least for the play on Hedgecock. So Hannah Gamble, single to left, her first time up. She's from Beebe, Arkansas. Change up, Nicolini's best of the day. One ball and one strike to Hannah Gamble. She tries to take that pitch into the trees. Here in this incredible setting for softball. 4 diamonds. Luciano Lafrano of Softball Premier TV with the drone has shown us some great shots. Ranging over is Piancastelli. And a costly error for Italy allows Triple Crown Colorado to add to their advantage. They lead it 2-0 going to the bottom of the third.
Middle of the third inning, the score is now TC Colorado 2.
A 2-0 lead for Triple Crown Colorado, who have now outscored their opponents 37-5. And they took full advantage of a throwing error that allowed Danica Coffey, who was going to steal second. Ball went into the outfield, and she raced all the way home with the second Triple Crown Colorado run.
That's a downfall of having a strong arm, as if your receiving partner can't catch it. It's going to keep rolling.
University of Tennessee star Julia Katsoyanopoulos is the batter, playing in center field. Two balls and one strike to Katsoyanopoulos. Into the gap. And she'll make her way to second with a leadoff double for Italy in The bottom of the third inning, and exactly what the Italians were looking for and hoping for.
Like you mentioned earlier, Peter, the talented roster that Italy has. You have Fabrizia up to bat now. She can easily lay a bunt down, get Julia over to third, and then you have Gasparotto who can produce runs, and this is a dangerous situation for TC Colorado here.
Fabrizia Maroni in left, and that's a chop bunt. Not a sacrifice. Bunting more for a base hit. Not even really a bunt, more of a chop slap.
A little choppy poke, and we talked on the way here about Italy probably doing well up against these TC Colorado pitchers, and I think Julia at second base, having that college experience, helped her in this situation, leading off with a double. Unfortunately, Fabry lining out with that bunt. But I think Julia having that edge at Tennessee, facing elite pitchers in the college world, she's had a little bit of practice, and good for her to lead off with a good double to right center.
Maroney trying to get the ball on the ground and punched it right into the glove of Hannah Gamble. So one out. Katsoyanopoulos at second, and when you have 7 pitchers and they're all very good and lots of great options, and I would think for David, one of the reasons, because another thing we haven't spoken about is their respective college programs, especially for players who have lots of eligibility left, probably not all that comfortable, depending on the situation, with this team just liberally using pitchers exactly the way they want as Cassidy Curd comes in. And, you know, she's a star at Duke, just completed her first year there. So my guess is the head coach at Duke University is not going to give license in this situation to go, you use Cassidy exactly as much as you want. And I've seen that in my experience in a lot of other sports, this sport, different kind of tournaments, where even at the World Cup of baseball, there are pitch counts and pitch limits for those types of scenarios. I don't think that's the case here, but David wouldn't get the contributions or the ability to use these star college players without those types of arrangements.
Right, that's a great point, and they have that extended roster, right? So bringing 7, I'm sure that's in the back of his mind. He doesn't want to wear out these girls. It's a great opportunity. He wants to win, no doubt, but he's also going to have that in the back of his mind that these girls have a college career that they still have to do, and so that's a great thing. Again, another lefty that he's bringing in, his lefty soup strategy. And I like that you mentioned these girls just coming together. It's very difficult to throw a team together, girls that may or may not know each other. I talked with a few of them yesterday about the team bondings that they've been doing while they're out here and going on hikes and really enjoying this time. A little something different from the college life.
Well, it's a great opportunity. And you know that USA Softball is watching closely. Is their next step. All of these players would love to be a part of that program and play in big events internationally for their home country. And let's not kid ourselves. There's been lots of players who may have started playing for the United States and then they're on display for others. And in fact, because of the incredible depth in the United States, if I'm another country and there's any kind of heritage that allows you in the rules, and you know it well, you're an American, and it's your heritage that allowed you to gain status to be able to perform internationally for Italy.
Yeah, and with the USA being so dominant in the world of softball and having so many opportunities, it is very rare for, there's only 20 girls pretty much on Team USA. And so for other girls of different heritage to be able to go to another national team, not only broadens softball, but a lot of girls are proud to do that with their other heritage.
Gamble makes that catch as Gasparotto retired on the pop-up to first. And Cassidy Curd comes in. Strong outing. 2 1/3 for Maria Lopez out of the University of Utah in Peoria, Arizona. Cassidy Curd was the ace of the Duke Blue Devil staff this past season, and they advanced all the way to the Super Regional. They hosted Stanford in that Super Regional before losing to the Cardinal. Cassidy is from Port St. Lucie and was 18-3 at Duke, and this is a tough play, and it's going to score a run. A run batted in for the star today of Italy, Alessandro Rotondo, an RBI base hit, and this game is tied.
Great job with Ale putting the ball in play somewhere, and great job by Julia at second base, getting a good jump, reading the ball, and as soon as the ball was in play, she was going home. Sometimes if you hesitate there, that can get you thrown out at home, and she did a great job flying home. She's got unexpected speed, Julia.
Alessandro Rotondo delivers an RBI base hit to left, and this game is tied. And Piancastelli can change that in a quick hurry. She has a base hit in the game. She's 1 for 1, facing Cassidy Curd, who just entered the game. Cassidy, in this tournament, has worked 3 1/3, has given up 4 hits, no runs, struck out 4, and walked 1. And misses down and Atwood with a quick snap throw to keep Rotondo in check over at first. And Rotondo can run.
She can, and I want to point out she actually has been with Team Italy for a while and missed out on the Tokyo Olympics due to injury. And so to see her back out here running well and being a leader in this game as well.
Jackie Lees does an excellent job of angling herself into a position to keep the tough sun away. Not an easy catch. Italy has tied the game at 1. We've got an excellent game brewing on day 4 of the Canada Cup. Reese Atwood deleted off as Triple Crown Colorado finds itself in a tough game, and that has not been the case, even against Canada. They won that game 8-0 against one of the favorites here, along with themselves, the team they're playing, and of course, the favorite, the reigning Olympic gold medalist, is Atwood. Drives that through the hole for another hit for Reese Atwood. And Atwood continues to draw rave reviews with her play. And after giving up the tying run on an RBI single to Alessandra Rotondo, back comes Triple Crown Colorado. And Amanda, we've talked about this a lot. When you score, there is nothing better for a team and its confidence than to be able to follow up that tying run by putting up a 0 in the next half inning. High in the air to Pion Castelli, and she makes the catch for out number 1 to retire Kaylee Wickoff, who is now 0 for 2 in the game.
Especially when a team scores against you in the first inning on a home run. To be able to come back a few innings later, score a run, your defense do well, it gives you confidence, it makes you feel better and momentum for the rest of the game in the tournament.
Well, Jackie Lease, like Danica Coffey, has been awfully tough to get out. Atwood, she is yet to be retired. I have her at 8 for 8 after that base hit.
And the more we see these girls, those stats don't surprise me.
So Lease. Longy, there's her excellent work at the hot corner, and that was hit well. Julia Longy with a fine defensive play at third.
Center fielder number 21, McKenna Wilson.
Yeah, that's a great play, and to me, it's just natural.
And Italy growing in confidence. This was too good a team, and they've had a miserable schedule in terms of opponents. Andrea Filler, and tip your cap to Alice Nicolini, who is throwing some game. When you hold this team to 4 hits in 4 at-bats, you're doing a great job. 2-1. Italy trying to... They're giving a 3-0 team all they can handle in Triple Crown, Colorado. (2-1) Triple Crown, Colorado. As Cassidy Curd came on in relief. And a good game. Triple Crown, Colorado made it 2-0 after an errant throw allowed Danica Coffey to race in from second as she was attempting to steal a base. But a nice response. A double by Katsoyanopoulos and an RBI single. And this is the kind of game I know we were both hoping for coming to the park. There's Roberto Perez. He has so many responsibilities, I don't even know all of them. And what a fine man. Just an absolute gentleman. He kind of makes everything happen in terms of the umpires, a lot of the organization. Had a chance to meet him for the first time at the World or the Olympic qualifier here in 2019, and just an awesome person. Pleasure to deal with, and it's the people you meet that really last even longer, I find, than the games and the competition itself. Is Mackenzie Barbara in foul territory. A long run for Koffel, and if she makes that play, I'm just leaving because there's no need. You would have seen nothing or would see nothing better.
And that was amazing hustle. I'm going to critique her a little bit. Just put your glove up a little bit, and that becomes a great play. Again, great hustle, and it's that effort at the end that would have made that phenomenal, adding to another Wemb gem that we've seen throughout this tournament.
And there have been many. There was one today from Rotondo over at second that was marvelous. Mackenzie Barbara flew out to Fabrizia Maroni and left. Cassidy Curd in relief of the starter, Maria Lopez, and I guarantee you there's work. Oh, it's a right-handed pitcher warming up. For Triple Crown Colorado. And the high rise from Cassidy Curd. And the star at Duke out of Port St. Lucie, Florida.
That's a great location with Barbara. She's got that power. If you leave it a little bit lower and she gets that one out of the zone and makes Barbara chase out of that. Good first out.
Carlin Pickens is warming up down the line. Another Tennessee volunteer who performed at the College Women's World Series. Won in early June by the University of Oklahoma again. And Curd with nice velocity on 30-year-old veteran Andrea Filler. Filler struck out against Lopez in her first at-bat. Filler now 3 for 9 in this tournament. In on the hands, and she did well to fight it off and send it foul. Is there anything about Curd that you've noticed in your viewings that allow her to be successful?
I was just watching her on the monitor here, and I want to get a better look on her little weight shift back and how deceiving that is for a hitter. But that rise ball, she's got a very good rise ball, can place it at different levels like we just saw with Barbara, making her chase out of the zone. It's so effective, really changing that eyesight of a player. It looks like a candy ball you just take a hack at, and it's out of the zone. And I think that would be her best pitch, and I think we'll see it again in a couple more at-bats.
This was a change that was up. And that's always a pitch, I would think, that you need to show a lineup and enough hitters over the course just to plant the seed. It doesn't have to be your go-to.
Right, anything that can change a speed, change direction, that's effective. That's effective. Filler called out on strike 3.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Cassidy Curd.
Looked to be a bit of a missed pitch. I think she wanted that inside, and Filler could have been expecting that pitch, and it comes outside, paints the corner.
Julia Longi, who made a fine defensive play at third, thought about the surprise bunt, but pulled back on ball 1. from Cassidy Curd.
Again, those change-ups can be so effective. A lot of pitchers have a change-up where they throw it in the dirt a couple feet in front of the plate, and hitters chase it, and that's why a change of speed.
Ouch. And Julia looks like she's okay, and Cassidy asks her too.
Again, that kind of tends to happen a lot to Julia. That ball getting away. Julia's a tough kid. No surprise to see her shake that off and be polite about getting rocked in the face, but
Hope she's all right. I thought that caught her on the shoulder. I think it made contact from the great picture that Luciano and his lovely wife on Softball Premier Television have shown us. And it was, got a bite of the shoulder. Great job, Luciano. And then got a piece of what looked like her chin. So
they actually just made that face mask Evo Shield protective mandatory on the national team, and which they did that right before the Olympics to throw us off a little bit, but showing here why it's important to have. And
it obviously must have just got enough of that little protection to keep her okay, which is fantastic. And she's going to scoot to second on a pass ball. As Reese Atwood says, that's on me, behind the plate.
And let me throw out there real quick, I think everyone on the team, everyone in Italy calls Julia at second base Panda. And I think the reason for that is, if I believe I have this right, when she was younger or before I got out there to know her, she got hit in the face and had 2 black eyes and looked like a panda. So, again, nothing new to Julia Panda Longhi getting hit in the face, but I hope she's okay and she looks fine with that extra base there.
Yeah, she looked like she was okay. She signaled immediately, which was great news. After she was hit, there was a loss of breath in the stands anytime that happens, and especially in and around the head area. But she is fine, and Italy with a chance to draw even. Playing at first base, Elisa Cicchetti. And fouls that out of play down the right side of the field. Cicchetti is 1 for 6 in the tournament. She flew out to Mackenzie Wilson in center in the second. Change up. Fought off. No trouble for Gamble. That's an excellent pitch by Cassidy Curd. So Italy threatens, and this fine game continues between 2 of the top teams in this 8-team tournament. And we go to the 5th with 3-0 Triple Crown Colorado leading it 2-1.
2-1. Sur le gauche, numéro 44, left fielder number 44, Talon Edwards.
Top of the 5th, this has been an excellent game between two very good teams. And they're playing well. 4 hits to 3 and a 2-1 lead. And it's an error. And that's what happens in big games, as you know, Amanda, having been part of so many of them yourself with the Italian national team, that it can be the great separator, that one pitch, that one misplay.
That's usually how it works. One error can result in 1 run, and all it takes is 1 run, 1 pitch over the fence, and that's what makes this elite international level so great, is you have to be on point every single pitch.
Talon Edwards is the batter. She is the left fielder. Flew out to Kutsoyanopoulos in center in her first time up. Talon Edwards looking to get on track offensively, which is not an issue for the majority of players. The numbers are astonishing after 3 games, and some players have actually built on those numbers today. Filler in time to get Edwards. And Alice Nicolini not overpowering. And I think it has played some havoc with this college all-star group that faces, I would suggest, more power-type pitching along the way.
Yeah, and we've talked about that a few times, is how in international play, spin has been starting to dominate, and Alice Nicolini in the circle right now is one of the best at it, and we've talked about how she forces ground balls and outs, not necessarily the speed, the power, overpowering pitch, and a strikeout pitcher, but she gets those outs, like you saw, easy ball to Filler, pop-ups, and she's really incredible at it.
And paints the outside corner with what looked to be a low rise from our vantage point. 1 ball and 2 strikes to someone that's been next to impossible to get out. Danica Coffey, 1 for 2 today. As the changeup misses to Danica, a star at LSU in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They lost to the University of Louisiana, the Ragin' Cajuns, in a regional this year. So LSU did not participate in the College Women's World Series. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Danica Coffey has 10 hits in the tournament already and just barely stays alive on that 2-2 pitch. Coffey officially 10 for 13. Janet Leung, the Canadian shortstop, has had a memorable first 3 days. In 5 now complete games, she has 10 hits, and there's number 11.
And she just puts her bat out there, and again, your bat angle is important when you're facing pitchers like this. You just have to put the ball in play. And you see her just getting to contact and getting it up the middle in a hole, and she's been doing that all week, and we're going to see that throughout the week and putting herself in a good situation here.
One of the greatest leadoff batters I've ever watched in international competition was longtime United States national team member Natasha Watley, as Longy ranges over and then shows off her big arm to keep Danica Coffey over there as Aaron Koffel goes down, flying out for the second out to Erica Piancastelli. When I watch Danica Coffey, who is not a shortstop, I think a little about Natasha Watley with that left hand slap, speed. That's the first person that comes to mind. And it will be interesting to track her career moving forward. I think She is the perfect leadoff hitter.
A great person to remind you of, too. One of the best with Natasha Watley. I know a lot of players look up to her and learn from her. She does great stuff in the softball world, and to see that in other players is a real special thing.
Well, she was incredible. That's the only...
she...
And here she goes with that speed, but gunned down by Marta Gasparotto. Through an absolute BB.
Right to the base this time, for sure.
You could not have walked over there and handed it to the shortstop any better than Marta Gasparotto to get the speedster, Danica Coffey, who stole a base earlier, but not now. And Italy in Triple Crown, Colorado in a good one. It's 2-1. Boy, am I enjoying this game. This is great. International women's softball. Team Italy, 1-2 in the tournament against 3-0 Triple Crown Colorado. A college all-star team, literally, of high-end elite level NCAA Division I players put together by David King. And they're in a tussle with Team Italy, 2-1. And I'm not surprised that the game is tight. I am a little surprised that there's only 3 runs on the board.
Right, or even to see TC Colorado's at 5 hits. We saw them 8-0 against Canada, and I think I was a little nervous about this game, being my former team. But yeah, both teams are doing great. TC, again, a little surprised with their hit count.
Well, these things, as the week goes along, that's the great thing about tournaments. At some point, you'll play all the best, and you'll play all the best more than once. And we're going to have some, I think, magical stuff, especially come Sunday and Saturday. Playoffs here will be dynamite. Even when it gets seeded for the teams 5 through 8, we're going to have some great games, and we're having an excellent game right now.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing with these teams is they can be off one day. Maybe we saw that last night in Canada, and if TC, Colorado, and Canada play again, we're not going to see that Canada team again. So just one game doesn't depict, how that team really performs. So it's fun. It's like you said, every matchup is going to be great leading into playoffs. And then the championship game I'm excited for.
Well, Triple Crown Colorado has a date with Japan tonight. Italy has another game today. And the high rise from University of Duke star pitcher Cassidy Curd is too much for Tennessee star Julia Katsoyanopoulos. And Cassidy Curd has her third strikeout since replacing the starter Maria Lopez, who pitched Utah to the College Women's World Series. Fabrizia Maroni lined out to Danica Coffey over at third. And so even with Coffey, she's not at short, but she is nearby at third, unlike Natasha Watley. And again, I see some comparison. I don't want to put that on anyone. That is for me arguably the greatest shortstop and leadoff hitter I've maybe ever watched.
Absolutely, and that's why we compare other athletes to them, is they are the best of the best in generation after generation, and those are the references you give. Oh, that was a play like Natasha Watley or so-and-so, and so it's a good reference from the best players in the world.
Rotondo and Koffel with a quick release. She's a whale of a shortstop, too.
That little sidearm throw.
Is Fabrizia Maroni goes down 6-3. And here's catcher Marta Gasparotto, 26 years of age. A terrific athlete. Done a marvelous job over at short today with a great strong throw in the last inning. And a fly ball that Mackenzie Wilson handles with relative ease. 2-1 after 5. Triple Crown, Colorado, and another gem of a day weather-wise in South Surrey at beautiful Softball City. Alice Nicolini working into the sixth and has given Italy a fantastic pitching performance against this team of college all-stars known as Triple Crown Colorado, who had put up 35 runs in their first 3 games, including an 8 spot against Canada in an 8-0 triumph here yesterday afternoon, before Canada found themselves in quite a battle with Mexico before they scored 7 runs in the 6th and added 5 more in the top of the 7th to blow the doors off and win that game 13-2. Canada with 5 home runs in the game. I went to sleep singing Shania Twain as a result. Because after every Canadian home run, on the public address came her song that starts with, and I have to think about it quickly as I try to collect all my thoughts today. Off the end of the bat, and it's Hedgecock who goes down 3 unassisted for out number 1. But yes, that song was ringing in my ears last night. When you hear it 5 times in about 25 minutes, that can happen. Hannah Gamble just missed that. Maroney miscommunicates with Filler.
That's a tough ball. That's high. That's a long run for Fabry in left field and Filler at short. And that's one downside of switching your defense so much is they don't know each other. They don't know the range at that angle. Fabry hasn't played with Filler at short and vice versa. And so that is one downside of having so many players to be able to switch around is you get a little scared. You don't know the range of other athletes. And unfortunately, an out is now a base hit
Pinch runner at first base, number 1.
with a dangerous Colorado roster up to bat.
Jalia Lassiter into pinch run for Hannah Gamble, who is 2 for 3 in the game. Saw Lassiter yesterday against Canada. It's a big roster and an excellent roster for Triple Crown Colorado. Lots of options, whether you need somebody to come in, like just earlier in the inning. That was actually Sarah Gordon who led off the inning. This is Atwood. And Atwood has yet to not find base. She's been on every time she has been up. 9 for 9 plate appearances have resulted in her being at least at first base.
And on the defensive side, Italy knows that, so they're looking to get a hard hit ground ball, maybe turn 2 here.
She could be
Even
retired here.
Even a fly out would be good.
And isn't, as Bianca Stelli in that tough right field sun area reached back and couldn't haul it in. And you do not want to give Reese Atwood an extra opportunity. Just when you thought that maybe the Sandia, Texas product would be retired for the first time in 3 games, the University of Texas star gets another crack. Rotondo, and it falls.
Again, one of those bloopers.
But an out.
Being able to recover and get a play out of it instead of sitting there and dwell. Great job from Erica to make that out and that strong throw to second. Again, those bloopers are so hard to read.
So Atwood, no hit up on the board, but a great play by Bianca Stelli to get to that ball, and she has a great arm.
She does.
Showed it off, threw a strike to Filler, the shortstop covering at second to get the second out of the inning. And now I'm confused. Lassiter is still over at first. I need Mr. Perez upstairs to help me with that one. And I'm not kidding.
With 2 outs.
Why is Atwood not at first? That ball clearly dropped, picked up, the runner who had to wait and hesitate because she wasn't sure that the catch was going to be made. Did somebody...
Is she running for someone? What is...
She was running for Gamble, but she was there prior to that play. And then Atwood, who, as you just saw, I'm pretty sure with my own 2 eyes, popped it up, fell in front of the right fielder.
Can she pinch run? Designate run?
That's it. Thank you. That's it. That's exactly what has happened. She's the courtesy runner because she was just thrown out. See, that's why I have you with me.
It takes me a minute. I just say, hey, I'm fast. I want to get on the base. Doesn't work that way, though.
Missed the fact because Atwood is the catcher today.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't the catcher the last time we saw her. So that's exactly why. So, no, I do not. I just need Fama. No Perez, just more Fama. And maybe a timeout today. Base hit by Rylan Hedgecock. And with 2 out, Hedgecock
Second base player number 0, Jackie Lees.
flares one into left. And Jackie Lees will have an opportunity now to deliver what could be a crucial insurance run. So Wyckoff just singled. She's 1 for 3. Jackie Lees, who has no less than 7 hits in the tournament, 6 runs batted in the tournament, has pinch runner Jalia Lassiter, who came into pinch run, was thrown out after Reese Atwood reached on a fielder's choice. Thrown out 9-6 at second. Came back in the game as the courtesy runner for catcher Reese Atwood, and then followed up by Kaylee Wyckoff batting. Singling, and this is Leeson Gasparotto with a rope that almost caught Lassiter off base. So a critical at-bat in this game for Jackie Lees and pitcher Alice Nicolini, who has kept this powerful Triple Crown Colorado offense to just 2 runs and 7 hits. And she'll get the job done.
Really, what a great job from Nicolini. That's how she plays, and I love watching it from up here. I love being at shortstop, but she gets those ground outs in clutch situations versus great teams. Great job handling it there.
Alice Nicolini with some great defense. Italy comes to bat in the 6th, trying to draw even and looking to hand Triple Crown Colorado their first loss on a beautiful day for beverages and smiles at the Canada Cup. Well, we anticipated this being a really good game between 2 of the best teams in this 8-team tournament, the women's international division of this glorious event, where there are 2 under-19 divisions and 2 under-17 showcase divisions. So this is a mammoth event. And this player has been terrific today for Italy. She is 1 for 2, has the lone Italian run batted in, and made a beautiful play at second base. And her name is Alessandra Rotondo, facing Cassidy Curd, the second pitcher to work for David King's Triple Crown Colorado. And she has worked effectively. Rotondo with a nice bunt. Coffey, the throw is not in time.
Great job on Rotondo reading the defense. Like you said, Peter, she's done really well getting on base. She's a multiple threat player in the box. She can hit, she can slap, she can bunt, and she gets herself on.
And Italy in the heart of their order. And we're going to make a pitching change right here. As Cassidy Curd will give way to Carlin Pickens. Another Tennessee volunteer. She's from Weaverville, North Carolina. At the University of Tennessee, she was 9-7 this year through 87 and a third innings. And was named the Southeast Conference First Year Player of the Year. So that will tell you a lot in that great conference. The SEC is a spectacular conference in the sport of women's Division I softball.
And what I like to see, we weren't able to get a shot of it, was as soon as the pitching change happened, Julia Coots came out of the dugout from Tennessee, also plays at Tennessee, and gave a little scouting report to Piancastelli, who, I mean, comes in clutch situations and usually produces, but that just shows the team spreading the knowledge of a pitcher that Julia probably knows pretty well.
So Carlin Pickens, in her third appearance, she's thrown 4 2/3 innings, has not given up a run, 3 hits, struck out 7 and walked 2, and facing another professional hitter in Erica Piancastelli, who does have a hit today. She's 1 for 2. No one out. 2-1 Triple Crown Colorado, along with Japan, the only unbeaten teams in this round-robin affair that will wrap up with playoff games on Saturday and Sunday. The championship final, Piancastelli, Koffel in the hole, the turn by Lease, not in time. But Pickens comes on and gets a ground ball that she was looking for.
And Koffel does a great job getting around this ball and setting herself up for an easier throw to second to get that lead runner over at second base. Unfortunately, they can't turn the double play there.
Well, here's a player you do not want to make a mistake against, or it will be 3-2 as Pickens misses down low with a drop ball. Carlin, 10 strikeouts in a game against Texas A&M at Tennessee this year. Also had a perfect 5-inning performance in a game on March the 4th against Appalachian State. And trying to keep her team in front, and the changeup with movement. Curves in for strike 2. The SEC First Year Player of the Year, Carlin Pickens.
That's a good pitch because you don't want to provide too much power with Barbara up to bat.
And a wild pitch, and that's critical. It allows Piancastelli, who reached on the fielder's choice, to move into scoring position. As the drama continues, and the Italian head coach, is going to make a change. Going to send Laura Vigna, who has not played as much as I would have expected in this event. Thought we would see her regularly in the lineup and in the outfield. It's not been the case as of yet. She comes in to run for Piancastelli.
And Vigna just had a great college career, too. I believe her school won the championship, and so she's pretty hot. So it is a little interesting to see that she's not playing as much. Again, they have a long week. Maybe there'll be some changes. But she's in there now. She's a threat. She's got speed. Let's see if Barbara can get it in the outfield.
And strikes out. Big pitch from Pickens.
A great pitch at that, too.
Her first strikeout. Retires San Diego State Aztec star Mackenzie Barbara. Andrea Filler faces a change, and it's down into the dirt for ball one.
And Pickens is staying low in the strike zone, and that's smart with the Team Italy offense that they have. You don't want anything deep to score that run.
And that's one of those for a right-handed batter, which you were, almost unhittable in that spot. Curving in on the hands on the inside corner. Pickens, a change. And the thing I like about that changeup is the curve motion from a right-handed pitcher to a right-handed batter.
Right, it's deceiving how she presents it out of her hand and then comes with a low pitch. Again, changing that eyesight of the batters, and that drop ball is continuing to get Team Italy. And I think we'll see it a lot more and see if Italy can make an adjustment.
Carlin Pickens in relief. Shuts the door and showing why she was the first-year player of the year in the SEC Conference. 7th. A showdown that's lived up to its billing on day number 4 at the Canada Cup. Team Italy trailing Triple Crown Colorado. Italy 1-2 in the tournament after losses to Canada and Japan before beating Israel. Triple Crown Colorado 3-0, which included an impressive 8-0 victory over Canada yesterday. And we go to the 7th, where Mackenzie Wilson in center field leading off. She's 0 for 2 in this game, and Alice Nicolini has given Team Italy all it could want in the circle in this game against this vaunted Triple Crown Colorado lineup. Federico Pizzolini must be delighted with the effort he has received today. How could you not? Mexico and Japan on the slate next, in a game that is scheduled for 3:30. Nicolini just missed. Just missed. Three balls and two strikes. Change up. And Alice has a number of different change-ups, different speeds, different rotations. And Mackenzie Wilson did well to stay alive. And here's another payoff pitch to Wilson. And it is strike three.
Right on the corner. Great job. She threw those off speeds. Got her off balance a little bit. Comes on the outside.
Nicolini just delivered her first strikeout of the day.
Again, Nicolini's not a large number strikeout pitcher. She just produces outs other ways. And facing her in the Italian League and playing with her, it's that spin that is so deceiving. I can't say it enough. You can really recognize it, but it's so deceiving. The ball appears that it's coming faster than it is and breaks when it needs to break. And it's really hard to square up the ball and hit it solid. And we've seen that today is TC Colorado is not hitting the ball like they did last night, and they're hitting little dinkers or right at people. And so her pitching has been really effective today.
Change on a couple of hops to Rotondo. Makes the play. Almost seemed to slip out of her hand as she was throwing it, but still managed to make the play. And there are two away as Rotondo's fine day, both offensively and defensively, continues. And two away with Danica Coffey, 2 for 3. She has scored the go-ahead run when she stole a base. The throw ended up in center field, and she came all the way around with her great speed to score. That happened in the third to make it 2-0. Rotondo drove in a run in the bottom of the third, and it's been zeros for both ever since.
I'll say one thing about Nicolini as a person is she has an incredible memory. Whether she's pitching or not, she can remember every single hitter, every single pitch that is thrown to them. It's really remarkable. You can look over at short and she'll tell you where to play someone. And we saw that right before this at-bat as she was doing some signals with her hands. And I believe that was where she hit it last time. And as a defense, you take what the pitcher says into consideration. You make adjustments to that, and you pinch the middle. If that's where Alice Nicolini tells you they hit the ball, you trust that and you make an adjustment. And so that's one thing about her is the memory and the mental game that she has is really incredible. She scouts every player from before the game to even what they did last at bat.
Well, that's an incredible advantage. And she thought she had strike 3 on Danica Coffey.
And that's a tough pitch to take as a hitter. Great job taking that for Coffey.
Coffey leads the tournament with 11 hits. 2 more today. And draws the 2-out walk. She was thrown out attempting to steal after reaching base in the 5th. You mentioned it to me, Amanda, off the air. Didn't seem to get a great jump. I wonder if she'll be on the move here. Look at that shot.
That's a great shot with both these teams, especially being thrown out Coffey last time. She's not going to let that happen again.
Koffel carried. Piancastelli takes care of it. And what a pitching performance from Alice Nicolini against this talented offensive group of college all-stars. Italy with a chance to send it to extras. when we return to Softball City. Giulia Longhi to lead it off. Italy and Triple Crown Colorado, hailed as two of the best teams coming into this 8-team competition, and they've delivered. And Alice Nicolini with a borderline masterpiece today against a team that had scored 35 runs coming in Triple Crown Colorado. 44 hits in their first 3 games. But only 7 today, Longhi, but right at Talon Edwards. Went down to get the drop. And Carlin Pickens looking to close the door for Triple Crown Colorado. She's the 3rd pitcher to work from Weaverville, North Carolina. That's a brilliant change. Is Elisa Cicchetti playing over at first today, has been the regular catcher so far this week for Team Italy. Took an extra deep breath. I could see it from here after the change, and then back with a rise in on the hands to even the count. It has just been an absolute treat to watch these athletes perform.
Yeah, it's been, again, not being biased. Team Italy came out with a tough schedule, and I know they weren't really having fun, and that was something the staff really wants out of the girls, and they like to get treated, whether it's with gelato at the end of the day or a win, giving them some momentum into the rest of the week. Team Italy has really come back and showed them that this is Team Italy, one of the best 6 teams in the world, and TC Colorado, again, doing so well, but these teams have really put on a good show for us.
Carlin Pickens with a great pitch. Another strikeout. And of all the Triple Crown Colorado pitchers, and again, I'm not a pitching expert or a softball expert by any stretch, but there's a lot to work with here. She does a terrific job mixing speeds, has a terrific changeup, good movement. Because of her frame and the length, she feels like she's on top of you, I'm sure. And the brilliant changeup.
And she knew that as soon as she released it, and she's proud of herself on that one, as she should be.
Carlin Pickens came in relief of Cassidy Curd, shut the door with a runner on in scoring position. ends up with 4 strikeouts. And Triple Crown Colorado and Japan likely headed for an 8:30 showdown of 2 teams with unblemished records. An excellent display of this sport at a very, very high level. 2-1 Triple Crown Colorado for Amanda Fama. I'm Peter Lubardius saying so long for now from Softball City in South Surrey.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.